Hey guys, welcome back to Bassin with Brandon. We're launching on Toledo Bend this morning in Housen, right here at the Fin and Feather. That's Kevin going there. We've had a pretty long week. We started off by going up to Lake Fork and fishing the beginning of the week. The bite on Lake Fork right now is really tough. So we fished Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday there. Wednesday night, we had a discussion, made a decision, packed our stuff, and headed back closer to home. So yesterday we fished in 6 Mile right here. The bite was a little tough, but we did manage to catch fish. Weren't able to find any size, but it was a good day. If I can figure this out, there will be a link pop up on your screen right here. You can click on that to go watch that video. So anyway, this morning we came back to Housen Bay right here, and we're gonna see if we can make some changes. Nothing big, just some minor changes, and hopefully we can get some better quality fish today. So to start the morning off, following this creek channel up into this pocket, starting out here where these flats come out next to it. I'm dragging a Carolina rig and a jig through the last little bit of the grass right there and then hopping it off the ledge. When I was by the creek channel, let it fall down into there. Other than that, it's just working the edge of that grass line. So I worked this one on the right side of the creek. Didn't get anything, so I hopped across the creek and I worked this point, and same thing with that flat that comes out next to the creek there. Just dragging my Carolina rig and a jig, kind of mixing them in together. So after I made my way around that point, I followed that creek channel on up into this pocket a little bit. Once it made a bend right here away from the bank, I got a chatterbait and went across the top of that shallow point as I was working my way back out. Once I got back out, I started mixing in a trap and a shallow diving crankbait across these flats, around the point, and up in this pocket right here. Still hadn't got anything going yet, so I moved out, made my way around to the front of this pocket, and I decided to slow down a little bit. So tied on a little fluke, and I throw it up on some shallow grass right outside this pocket. I start getting bit, but they're all small fish. Catching one or two. Some of them was real small and they would get off. I was gonna make my way into this pocket, but man, it was a Friday and Housen Bay was packed. So the back of all these pockets was very crowded. So I worked on in there a little ways, and then I moved back out. Started just throwing a chatterbait, just following this grass line around. So I keep following this grass line around, using that chatterbait, and I'm picking up a fish here and there. You got to go 100 yards or so, a couple hundred yards sometimes, picking up a fish. Most of the ones I was catching was 1.5 pound, 2 pound fish. There was a couple of 2.5s in there. But I worked my way around this grassline point right here and followed this next channel up into this next pocket. So after I rounded that corner right there on that grass line, I kind of stepped out in the more or less in the middle of the drain going up into this pocket, and same story, catching 2-pound fish, pound and a half. So I spun around and I followed that grass line back out. And grass line goes out along that flat pretty good ways. Once I got to the edge of it, picked up an A-rig and moved out a little deeper, worked around this hump out here and followed that creek channel swing right there and worked it over those ledges. Threw that A-rig there for a couple of hours out there in that open water. So I couldn't get anything going with the A-rig out there along those ledges. So I came back over here closer to where I started, and I really spent the rest of the day in the back of these pockets. So the rest of the day I'm up in these pockets, and I'm pretty much dedicated to just throwing a fluke. So the good thing was all the traffic had moved back out. There was hardly any boats left in the pockets back here. So I could take my time and work that fluke slow. It was pretty effective like that. Most of the fish I was catching was still same size, pound and a half, 2 pounds. You get the occasional 2.5 in there. But up in those pockets, I really didn't catch anything with any size back in there. All right, guys, so it's starting to get kind of late. I've actually run out of flukes by this point, and I'm now fishing with just a weightless swim bait. Seemed to work just as well. So never did get any size, and I decided to come back out to the mouth of this little pocket and try to fish the point that runs up into it. just to see if some bigger fish started moving up there late in the evening. So like I said, I got that weightless swim bait on there. So I'm cast it out and just reeling it in slow. Give it 2 or 3 cranks, and then I'll let it fall for a little bit, and then another couple of cranks. So when I set the hook on this one, I could tell it was a better fish, but she was swimming out for deeper water, so I couldn't really get a good judge of it. But I backed my drag down because she was throwing straight under the boat, and when I did, she stripped line and got wrapped under something right underneath the back of the boat. So I can still feel her on down there, but I can't get her to come back around. So I'm holding tension. And then right about here, I lost her. I can't feel her on there anymore. Trying to pull the line off of whatever it's on. Can't get it to come free. So then I decided to reel down and see if I can get my line off of whatever it's wrapped around there. Once I get it unwrapped right there, just as luck would have it, she was still on there. This is the first time I get eyes on her, and I know I got to get the net out. So I put her on the scale right there, and she weighed 7.3. It was a great fish. In the last few minutes of fishing, I was just about to run out of daylight. I'd already run out of flukes, which I was a little nervous about, but a weightless swim bait worked just as well. So that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Fixing to bring the boat in, load it on the trailer. Hopefully I can get back over here soon and get another video out for you guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for upcoming trips.